Hey everyone, welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. Excuse me, let me get a drink. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm just waiting for a minute to let people get on. Today's Lunch and Learn, we're going to be talking about the criteria that people, companies, and individuals even use to select coaches, professional coaches. So I'm just waiting, giving people a chance to get on, and also to see if my headset is going to work correctly. So you guys can hear me really clear. Let's see. Excuse me. All right. All right. So we're going to get started. And again, today we're talking about the criteria that companies and individuals use to select professional coaches. So we all know, because we are coaches, and those that are watching that aren't coaches, this will be maybe a little bit new to you, but most likely you probably know this. Working with a coach can be really valuable, right? It can, and it can be a rewarding experience. So selecting the right one is really important for us as coaches as well, like selecting our coach, but of course for people selecting us as their coaches. So we have kind of like a checklist, and I'm going back and forth to my Instagram and also the Facebook, so you might see my eyes shift, just letting you know. So there's some things that that individuals and companies especially look for when they are looking to hire a professional coach. First thing that they look for is that training, right? So they want that certification and they want to see ethics. So the great thing about any ICF course that you take, that you're getting certified in, you are getting that ethics in there and your core competencies, and you have that, you have that training, right? And you have that certification and you're being trained on those ethics. The other thing is that they actually look for us to be members of professional coaching organizations, right? Because we typically have to hand in a resume, at least for companies. And this is even if you're just contracting to them, like you don't even have to be working for them directly. Like if you're going to do executive coaching for a company, or maybe you're going to do health and wellness coaching, they're still going to want your either your CSV or your oh shoot, I feel like I'm going brain dead sometimes. Your resume. So they want to see that membership into professional organizations, just like anybody else that they're hiring and other kind of professionals. They want to see that they're tuned into their industry, that they belong to different places, different organizations that can help them enhance their own coaching, their own development as coaches. So they're looking for that from us. And of course, there's a couple out there, but the largest organization is the ICF, and it's pretty reasonable. It's $245 for the year, and it's prorated throughout the year as well. So if you come in June, they're going to prorate it, and then they'll renew it in March. March is their renewal month. So it's pretty, again, pretty reasonable, and they have a ton of different benefits that you can use in there. But the main one is that we get to, enhance our skills. We can participate in different events. We can, of course, get notices or news first. And the studies that they do are great, the consumer studies and also the coach side studies. The next thing that they're usually looking for is the credential. And, depending on what kind of niche you're in, that credential will be either really important or maybe not so important. So definitely on the business side, any kind of executive or leadership coaching, most likely they're looking for a credential in the field. Now we have a couple credentials, but the main one, again, being the ICF, you can, there's three different leveling, or three different credential levels. You have the ACC, the PCC, and the MCC. The other one out there that's pretty popular is the BCC, Board Certified Coach, which is from the Center for Credentialing and Education. And you can apply for that if you are a certified coach and you have a certain number of hours. So they're looking for those coach-specific credentials, and of course, experience. So here's the problem, like new coaches are like, well, I don't have any experience. How can I break into that? Well, when you start doing either peer coaching, pro bono coaching, or you offer up some free coaching to maybe an organization to start building up your experience. Every hour you coach is an hour of experience, and that should go onto your log. And that's something that you can always reference when either an individual or a company asks what your experience is. So even though you may not be going for a credential, I firmly believe you should be counting and logging your hours, so that you always know what your actual coaching experience is. And again, it could be pro bono or paid, it doesn't matter. And then also looking for, if you've taken courses, like, even like college courses or what have you, because there's a bunch of colleges out there that have coaching courses. If you have those can enhance your resume and your status with people that are looking to hire you as a coach. Now, if you have experience mentoring or supervising other coaches, that's like a one step up, depending on the position that you're looking for. Again, this could be for contracting, or it could be for maybe direct hire to a company, depending on what you're looking for, they're looking for these different parameters. But if you have experience, any kind of experience with supervision or mentoring, then that will be beneficial. Like I am a coach supervisor and I'm a mentor coach. And so that helps me as far as when people are asking me, what's your experience? And I can tell them, those are the things I'm certified in, and I've actually had the experience doing it. And then of course, training and experience using a variety of different coaching tools or techniques. They want to see, what do you have? What do you use? What are the tools that you've found are beneficial to your clients? And they want to see what that process is like. So they're going to ask you about that. They're going to ask you the tools that you use. They'll ask you the processes that you use. They may or may not look for an academic diploma. If you have all of the certifications and credentialing, which except for the BCC, that's education based, but anything with the ICF, you don't have to have a college diploma. You just have to have your certifications. The BCC requires you to have at least a bachelor's. There's 7 different ways that you can apply. The higher your education, the less of the other qualifications you need, but they do look for that bachelor's. The ICF side, you don't need that. And then of course, referrals and testimonials. That's really important. That is what makes us stand out, right? We have clients that say they loved working with us. We have organizations that said that we did a great job for their clientele or their membership. So when you first start coaching, especially if you're doing pro bono, or as you get on later, it doesn't have to be when you first start, but as you get on coaching, you want to make sure that you're asking for testimonials. It's huge. It's important for you to have those testimonials. They should be on your website. They should be in your marketing materials. If you guys are following me any length of time, you know that I actually post some of my testimonials, and then of course they're on my website as well, because I want people to see that I'm doing a good job. My clients are enjoying working with me. They're getting results, and they're coming out of overwhelm, or whatever the case is. So I like to see that. Hi, Maria. So that other coaches that want to hire me can see that, I have coach experience. Here's all my, my education side and my training side, but what about working directly with somebody? What does that look like? And they can look at my testimonials and get an idea for that, right? And then also just looking at, like, how are we involved in our communities? How are we involved in furthering coaching as an industry? are we participating in things with like ICF studies, and are we volunteering time in other areas? Do we have pro bono hours that we have every year that we can say, hey, I'm giving back by helping out so many hours a year. And I do 300 hours a year of pro bono. So I think it's really important to have some pro bono hours. Of course, you don't have to do 300, but whatever, sits right with you. People look for that. They want to see that we're giving back into the community, that we are also helping others in a way that our paid side doesn't help. So they do want to see that as well. And you can just actually create a little PDF that has all this information that I just talked about. Your credentialing or your certification, your credentialing, your education, your experience, how many coaching hours you have. If you have those volunteer hours, how many volunteer hours, what organizations do you volunteer on behalf of? Those type of things that you want to really get into a PDF, kind of like your media page. Except it's for just specifically for people that want to work with you. And you can very easily shoot that off to somebody, right? If they say, hey, I'd really like to see your experience. Do you have a resume or whatever? If you don't have a resume, well, you have this PDF. And that's kind of like your media kit. You can send that media kit to them. What else? The minimum kind of requirements are usually that, again, your certification and ongoing training. And if you're credentialed, you do have to automatically get 40 CCEs in a 3-year period anyway on the ICF side. On the BCC side, you need 75 CCEs in a 5-year period. So there's usually, if you belong to an organization, you're already doing those additional credits. And like I said, there's other organizations out there. There's I forget what it's called actually, but I think it's IAF. And then there's the Life one, which might be LAF. I don't know for sure. But they're smaller organizations, but they're still organizations, right? They're still part of the coaching industry, and can be beneficial to be members of those. So you want to think about that. The other thing is that they want to see, if you have group coaching experience and you can get testimonies based on how you manage a group, that will actually put you above some of the other ones. Oh, sorry, I've got this air conditioning blowing my hair out. So if you have done group programs, make sure you're getting testimonials from them. Again, how you run the group, the dynamics in the group, even how you make members feel of the group, that can be beneficial. That can be something that stands out to an organization that's looking to hire you. And again, it could be businesses, it could be charities or organizations that want you to do wellness, want you to do business coaching, executive leadership, maybe team relationships, right? Helping to build teams. There's a ton of different ways that you can get into bigger companies, but also the individual, like the executive or the leader that is looking for coaching, or, the mom down the street who's looking for a parent coach or a mom coach. They want to see who are they investing their money into, right? Especially if we are wanting to up level our business and really bring in what we're worth as coaches. We have to back that up, right? And I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't have experience in coaching and they are making money at it. And that's true. Like, there's no doubting that, right? But for us, for certified coaches, we have a different path, right? We have a different calling. We want to be credentialed or certified, and then hopefully credentialed in some way. But there's other people that you might be up against, and they're going to see that you stand out because you have these other qualifications and you have this other experience. Another thing to think of is that there's some things that we can add to it, right? That we can complement our training with. So I'm just going to kind of give you like a little checklist here, right? So we talked about the certification, the credentialing, how many hours we've coached, that experience, what we're giving back maybe what we're doing pro bono, or how we're helping our communities, things like that. And then any group programs that you've done, how you're managing those groups and what the groups are getting out of it. But some other things that you can look at are like, you know, do you have some psychology courses or some psychology based programs that you've taken? Maybe you're certified in NLP, or maybe you're looking to get certified in NLP, or maybe you have on the holistic side, maybe you have Reiki training, or maybe you do hypnosis. Like, what do you have that is complementing your coaching experience? And just to give you an example, I have the EIQ certification that helps enhance my my coaching. I also have some certifications in different types of coaching, like specific to, I'm a certified veterans development coach, so I can really speak to veterans and their struggles and their families' struggles. Typically, I deal with the spouses, but I have that experience, I have that training to complement my core training. Also, if you're getting like master certifications or certifications in different niches, right? So that you can be very specific and show the training to that area that you're looking to get hired in, or for somebody to contract with you for their business. Some other things, maybe you have some, for if you're going to be working for companies, maybe you have some HR training, maybe you take a course here and there, right? These don't have to be like full-blown diplomas or anything, but maybe it's a certification, or maybe it's just, a course that you can say, yeah, I have like 10 hours training. Diversity and inclusion, really important. And actually, we're going to be doing a training on diversity and inclusion with one of our members and one of my longest students that I've known, Teddy Parsons. So we're going to be doing a training on that. But, do you have diversity and inclusion training? Do you have some, again, HR training? Maybe as far as complementary skills, like, do you have like transaction analysis? Again, depending on what you're doing, the NLP, maybe systemic analysis, or CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, or maybe, again, some different types of psychology, mindset. What are the things specific that you've done or taken, the courses, the training that you've gotten that can complement your niche area and your target audience to make you a better coach for them? Now, these things, especially certified coaches, we can say, you know what, we don't tell clients, right? We don't consult, we don't give that information. So why do we get these trainings? Because these trainings round us out. It gives us more knowledge and more kind of ammunition to help the client, but it also allows us to offer programs, things outside of our coaching, like group programs or trainings that we can pull our target audience into. And then those group people become our prospects for one-on-one coaching or higher end programs, right? So it's only beneficial for us to get that extra training to complement what we've already got going on. And then, of course, I talked about the professional experience. Lay this out in that PDF that you create, that media kit. How many hours or how many years? So you can do it either way. If you don't have a whole lot of years, you might want to do the hours to show the, it's just a higher number. It gives a better impression. So you can do it either way. But, how many hours coaching, how many hours, doing anything else that you're doing, training, mentoring, group programs, what have you. You want to lay out the actual experience. And then, what are other things do you have? Like, have you done a Myers-Briggs, or do you offer a Myers-Briggs or an EIQ test, or, Gallup's, Strength Finders? So what are some other things that you can get certified in, again, that are going to help you in whatever area you're targeting? And just like for the business area, especially leadership and executive coaching, Myers-Briggs is a good certification to have, as well as Strength Finders. And there's a ton of other ones, right? A ton of other assessments that we can use in our coaching. For me, EIQ made sense because, first of all, I had an interest in EIQ, and I was originally coaching for Recovery Nation only. And so it made sense for me to have that training so I could give, again, that more rounded view and help to my coaching clients, and then also in the programs that I did outside of the actual coaching. And now it's perfect for coaches as well, because I can help coaches increase their emotional intelligence. And I can do that through programs or one-on-one or whatever I want to do, right? So it just gives me that flexibility. So again, think about what you can use to complement your specific target audience. And if you don't know, if you're kind of confused, you can always put in the comments, what your specific target audience is. And I would be glad to make some suggestions that I feel, anyway, my opinion, would benefit you to round out your coaching experience. So a 360 reviews as well. So I do the EIQ 360, but regular 360 reviews, depending on what assessment you're doing, are great. Companies like that, they like to see that you're able to look at things from a 360 view and that you could give a 360 evaluation. And then if you are somebody that had HR training, like being able to write reviews or review reviews, managers and CEOs and executives, they like to see that. They like to see that you have that kind of that knowledge, that background in being able to assess somebody in a workplace environment. Again, if you're going for the workplace niche. What else? That was a lot. So I think, and then just ongoing training, right? You want to show people that you're continuing your training. That could just be a course here and there, but you put that into your media kit and you show the years that you've done it, right? The year that you took the courses, so you can show that you're continuing your education and staying involved, in addition to being a member of one of the groups for coaches. And I think that's it. I think that's what we have to look at when people are looking for us to hire us as their coach. We want to have these things kind of, again, in some kind of a media kit or resume or CSV, whatever you want to do, that you can show people, you can give to people. And then you can also use that in your marketing, right? You can talk about those things that you're doing and that you're enhancing your training with in your marketing posts. And I did a post yesterday for the ICF group that I'm running later this month. And in there, I told you my qualifications. I told you what I've been doing, since I've been certified 12 years ago. The training director position, the different certifications, that I've been a mentor coach, that I'm a PCC and a BCC. Why do I do that? It's not to brag. It's to show, it's to have people to start trust, right? To really see that I take my coaching seriously, and I take my outlining education seriously, and I definitely have a passion for it, right? Because I wouldn't do all this if I didn't have a passion for it. So I want people to see that it's my first step with them, or maybe it's a second or third step, but it's where they can see that I have the passion. They can see that I put the time and the investment into it as well, because when we invest in ourselves, other people benefit from that. So they see that as a positive when we've been able to invest in ourselves. So that's the reason why you can use those things in your marketing to make people feel more comfortable and to start to build that rapport, trust, and intimacy just by showing what you are doing. And of course, having that, again, that PDF that you can use as a media kit. And you can even put that onto your website if you'd like, or link it into your email. So people can just take a glance of it, right? So for instance, if you have an email list, having that linked in your email signature is beneficial, because people can click there and get your experience right away. Of course, you want your website in there as well, so they can go to your website. But, just kind of fast, easy ways for people to see what your experience is and what you do and how you do it. Okay. So that was my topic for today. If you have questions, because I can't see the comments anywhere that I'm looking, please put the comments please put your questions into the comments. If you're watching the replay, please put #replay. I will answer each and every question and comment that you make. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining me today. I will see you back here for our Lunch and Learn next week. And of course, I'll be in the group tomorrow as well. And if you have questions on how to enhance your training specifically, or your ICF credentialing, please put that into the comments as well. I have that group starting on the 27th of May, and I'd love to see you guys in that group to get your ACC or PCC credential. So I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.